Please be ready for a dictation of part 2 of a matter on judicial courts in India, taken from latestlaws.com. 5 seconds. Start. However, primarily the work of most high courts consists of appeals from lower courts and writ petitions in terms of Article 226 of the Constitution of India. Writ jurisdiction is also original jurisdiction of High Court. The precise territorial jurisdiction of each High Court varies. Judges in a High Court are appointed by the President after consultation with the Chief Justice of India, Chief Justice of High Court, and the Governor of the state. The number of judges in a court is decided by dividing the average institution of main cases during the last 5 years by the national average, or the average rate of disposal of main cases per judge per year in that high court, whichever is higher. The Supreme Court of India comprises the Chief Justice and 30 other judges appointed by the President of India as the sanctioned full strength. Supreme Court judges retire upon attaining the age of 65 years. In order to be appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court, a person must be a citizen of India and must have been for at least 5 years a judge of a high court or of 2 or more such courts in succession, or an advocate of a high court or of 2 or more such courts in succession for at least 10 years, or he must be, in the opinion of the President, a distinguished jurist. Provisions exist for the appointment of a judge of a high court as an ad hoc judge of the Supreme Court, and for retired judges of the Supreme Court or high courts to sit and act as judges of that court. The Constitution seeks to ensure the independence of Supreme Court judges in various ways. A judge of the Supreme Court cannot be removed from office except by an order of the President passed after an address in which House of Parliament, supported by a majority of the total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting, and presented to the President in the same session for such removal on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. A person who has been a judge of the Supreme Court is debarred from practicing in any court of law or before any other authority in India. The proceedings of the Supreme Court are conducted in English only. Supreme Court Rules 1966 are framed under Article 145 of the Constitution to regulate the practice and procedure of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India is the highest court of the land as established by Part 5, Chapter 4 of the Constitution of India. According to the Constitution of India, the role of the Supreme Court is that of a federal court, guardian of the Constitution, and the highest court of appeal. Article 124 to 147 of the Constitution of India lay down the composition and jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India. Primarily, it is an appellate court which takes up appeals against judgments of the high courts of the states and territories. However, it also takes writ petitions in cases of serious human rights violations or any petition filed under Article 32, which is the right to constitutional remedies, or if a case involves a serious issue that needs immediate resolution. Stop.